After resurrecting the giant of Charlton, Nathan Jones has been on horrific form as they look to be potentially challenging for a playoff position, but swooped to 17th after 4 defeats in a row. Maybe they've won this weekend, so Nathan Jones is out and I am in, as usual. However, Charlton don't have the biggest budget, not one of the biggest even in the championship. So today I try and rebuild them without signing any players, as this is a free agent rebuild. With the addicts, as yes people, welcome to a rebuild here of Charlton Athletic in FC26, and I'm trying to dissect this team immediately. We've got Charlie Kelman, who cost a bit of money. Sonny Carey made the move, of course, from, I believe it was, Blackpool in the 3rd division. Isaac Olaofe is another new signing from Stockport. Rob Apter as well from Blackpool. They've made quite a few signings in the window just gone. Luke Berry's joined the ex-manager from Luton Town. Sonny Carey, like I've already mentioned. Harvey Nibbs of Reading. Tyrese Campbell, brilliant little winger. With today the aim to win the Champions League without making a signing all year, or all save, sorry, without spending money, as here we are, 18 games played. We sit 17th with Charlton. Blackburn just below us. Sheffield United on the come up. Pompey, we didn't rebuild too long ago, and it's the first team we play as the budget sits at 3 million. Now we still can utilize money, and I'm not talking academy, because this is off limits as well, and I am gutted that it actually is so, because Marlon Aquino, a player we've been given with 94 potential, a Brazilian, looks amazing. But at least this is my own team right here. I'm not taking over the old manager Nathan Jones's tactics. I'm going with my own straight away to get this team ticking before I make a signing, as I'm going to go the flat 4-4-2 without a deep approach. I'm going to go for the 50-50 balanced kind of ideology. Trying to get fancy more words right there. And I'm going to go with inside forwards as the midfielders. Coventry to fall back a little bit. And there we go. A false 9 and an advanced forward in this team, which I'm still yet to set because I do want to get the players in the strongest positions. Making us look like this. Now, Connor Coventry needs to be a centre mid, not a CDM. And Roussillon's just signed for Charlton as a free agent himself. He signed during the season and used to have one of the best Ultimate Team cards available, as free agents are available to us straight away. But like I said, money can be spent on wages, obviously, and also I'm going to go for the coaching approach. We've got some youngsters here like Fuller and like all these lads out on loan. Carnu, brilliant. Rob Apter, Tyrese Campbell, the wingers from the start, and Miles Laban. He should be quite decent for us, as there goes the approach to focus on defense and strikers, because our strikers are our youngest and our defense is our oldest, all over the rating of 70, which should be good enough to keep us in this division. But I think maybe season 1 we get a centre mid again, as I always remember Harvey Nibbs as a striker. I'm going to try and make him the backup, or maybe as a winger backup. Onel Hernandez, an ex-Norwich City Academy graduate. Oh, sorry, said that wrong. Graduate of the Championship. Veteran, in fact. He's been here for so long. I'm going to try and make Kane Ramsey a centre-back as well in this team, as we've got plenty of decent right-backs. And I'm going to focus free agents on a centre-mid, like I say. Coventry's good, but I do want better, as these players will be signing halfway through the season. We do have Milan Vitalis. We do have Mexican players, but the rebuild rule stays of we cannot sign Mexican players until we're at least in the Premier League. Because A, it will be too easy, and B, I think they would flourish better there. So we'll not pick a position, we'll go with whoever the youth players are. We've got Damir Redzik. We've got our regen in this save, unfortunately, being Mexican, and does go against our rules here, leaving kind of one choice. Ahmed Al-Rawi as a backup striker. However, I think signing him when we've got so many players running out of contracts would be a waste of wages. So guess what? We're just going into the season as we are. Why waste the cash when we don't need to, despite our league finish being 19th position? Okay. I'm not a big fan of it. -9 goal difference. We've got Sheffield Wednesday obviously at the bottom with their points deductions. Then Oxford, QPR, Norwich safe. West Brom and Portsmouth safe. Interesting. And now we've not made any signings. We can go into Season 2 making them, as Round 3 of the Emirates FA Cup to Leicester City is our exit route. And I always like to see with the Carabao Cup, Grimsby Town in it, but I do not like to see the 5-0 to Brentford. My club suffered in real life, as yes, we were after a centre mid, and yes, we've got a left back we've just signed, going down a rating. Roussillon, as Kelman's gone up though, and Leyburn. I want to see who's fired us in this division to staying at this level. I mean, in the reserves, it looks like Oleo, Fernandez, and Rankin Costello have played a hefty part, as that's the team that looks like started in this division. But I've got positions changes to make, with Harvey Nibbs to a 70 rating and Kane Ramsey to a 71 as a 25-year-old centre-back now, leaving a left-back needed. Amari Bell has gone there, but he's 32. He looks weak. Yes, he's a bit fast. And then Roussillon, he's still going down himself. Paul Jerome, as look at the old players we've got here. We need to get some younger one in, and free agents are usually older players, so this might be a bit of a daunting task. Like I say, to get Charlton into that Champions League, we're going to have to reverse the age of the squad, with our top scorer, Isaac Olayof, a lot more than our starter, Charlie Kelman. This is going to be some task, but Charlton have got to get firing, so if you could help us by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you support Charlton or support this series of free agent rebuilds, as this is definitely not the last one. We've got to get this team set to go into this next, hopefully better season. Can't be a lot worse, and I've got to say the team is significantly better. We've got a lot of ex-Luton players, but I feel we do need a left back, with Bell being older, and maybe a comfortable centre mid. Coventry should almost be there, as we've got 6 million to the budget. Obviously can't buy any players, but like I said, we need to reverse the age of the squad, and I forgot to introduce a new rule of regen players, or young players. We could only sign one per season. For example, Alejandro Abeledo, a hard name to say, and I'm not going to be signing him, but if we wanted to get a regen player, we could only sign him, then we couldn't sign another one, and they're going to be young at the start of the save, so we might as well look who our oldest player is. And it does look like our goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski, but he should last a little bit longer. And then it is obviously left back, with Jerome and Amari, over 32. Could use another centre back, but I am going to go for a real life one if we do get the choice, as there is a 70 rated here in Carl Erdmann. 18-year-old, looks like he's 28, with the full beard and everything, but we have found a better player in Fabrizio Iglesias. But then one better than both of them combined is Evaristo Reyes. He's 5'7", Colombian, speedy, 5'7", decent defensive stats, and a rapid play style, so he's going to be the only regen we can sign in Season 2. With me definitely not trying to push my luck, he's into the team, and now we need another CM. Sonny Carey, I know the potential in him though. When we had him in our Manchester City relegate and rebuild video, also available on the channel, he was phenomenal. His stats are balanced, and I think he can really grow into something good. Definitely something Premier League quality, and Connor Coventry, finally a centre mid as well. Only a year older with an in-game face, but I am going to search for that midfield role. I'm not going to go on to youth, however, I'm going to still try and keep it fairly young themselves. Under 30 that is, because I don't want to find a regen, but then I do want another player. Emmanuel Adai, only 24. He looks perfect. Adai, yes, we have Campbell, and he's a left midfielder, as well as Harvey Nibbs. And then there is Joe Aribo, a man that does come from an ex-club of Nathan Jones, and I am going to sign him. Or should I say I'll sign Adai first, who you've just seen, and then this is Joe Aribo. He goes straight into this starting 11. Adai does the same, which is harsh on these three youngsters, Leyburn, Campbell, and also Rob Apter, to sit on the bench. So I think for this season, I don't think we'll get promoted. I am going to risk Nathan Asimwe's potential going down, keeping him at the club, as I'm going to loan list Sonny Carey, I'm going to loan list Rob Apter, and I'm going to loan list Miles Leyburn. Our 22-year-olds have to continue to grow here at Charlton. And I managed to loan 2 out of 3, and that was good enough for me. Only, was it 3 signings we made, including the regen at the start. Reyes, Iribo, and Adai. I knew we wouldn't have a decent season because we loaned out some of them youngsters. It is 17th, better than last year. Criminal, as who were at the top. Well, there's stronger clubs here. Leeds, Leicester, Burnley, Wolves outside the playoffs, meaning they're in our division next year, and I usually target third season promotions in rebuilds to reach the round of 32. Or was that the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup? Very good work from us in the quarterfinals of the Carabao. Unlucky Charlton. Got me talking in third person. We were unlucky as a team, and this is how the team's changed. The one player I couldn't get out is Miles Leyburn. Up to a 71 on the bench, however, and we've got a lot of 75s. We've got Rankin Costello, Nibs, Aribo, Charlie Kelman. A 79, yes, 34-year-old Kaminsky. And then Reyes at 20. His pace has gone up. His overall ability is sensational. And obviously, younger players is going to be our saving grace because he's +3. Next year, he should be 80 rated in the championship. With Rob Apter getting a +5 on loan at Burton Albion. Sonny Carey the same. That's what I love to see from our loan deals. Staying in England, Tyrese Campbell, 23-year-old, 71. I think I was meant to loan him. And maybe not loan out Sonny Carey. In that midfield position, Kadeem Dixon and Fuller trying to keep up. A +7. I think he was like 50 rated or something as our top scorer this season is Charlie Kelman. Olaof and Campbell scored more than Nibs in less games at another club, fellow in the championship. As next season in this championship, I've got to say, we've got to target promotion with 2 things left to do, and I thought I could change Greg Doherty over to a centre mid, but Nibs, I can definitely change to the right midfield. Although, is that really a good idea? He could have stayed on the left-hand side and Rob Apter into this team. When we do get our best players in here, that is a team now looking to actually fight for championship promotion to the Premier League with Reyes, Nibs. Apter looks phenomenal, with centre-back obviously being the position. I don't even have to circle it. And £9 million being in the budget, and I guess Nathan Jones will like it. The ex-manager seeing us strengthen the defence, which he didn't get a chance to do, but he strengthened it like you just saw with a lot of his ex-players, Amari Bell, James Bree, in the past when he had the chance here. So let's go centre-back, let's go free agents. All the way back to them youngsters, as we do have a Colombian at the moment. Making me think, will South America be the nicest to us? Well, we've got a Tunisian, Mustafa Amara. There's a lot of good regen players, like Sergio Andrade the same. I do want to find maybe a unique one. Maybe a nation I don't sign from much, because that would be a really nice thing for career mode. And is one of the best things about the game, because we could get Rodri Connick from Wales, or João Victor de Cruz from Brazil, 74 overall. Would be a nice South American link, but I've never seen this nation before. Nadir Hassan, 19-year-old, 71 overall. And I have just figured out the flag is actually the Syrian one. I don't think I've ever signed a player from Syria. So there we go, a new nation added to the MWS channel, and Burke and Jones are actually a rating higher, but I am going to force him into the team. There's 2 youth players building from the back, and I think we should actually get promoted. If we could sign our old players, we definitely would. With 8 million left in the bank, gain automatic promotion, reach the round of 16 of the FA Cup, but the first thing I'm going to do before actually making another signing is prep the coaches, because that's better, and that should work for us going into the future with our younger team as now I'm going free agents. And I'm actually going to look at the oldies first, before then going looking at the young, as I want no one lower than a 74 as an old player, but a 73, Paul Akuku, a defensive midfielder worth 2.2 million, and I think would be a decent signing. Alongside Taiwo Awonyi, released from Nottingham Forest as well. We have got to sign these. So here's 1 in Paul Akuku and 2 in Taiwo. I don't understand how he's actually been released. Unreal we've managed to get them, as only Awonyi goes into the starting 11, with Akuku being a CDM, and we've got to figure out his best position. Could it actually be centre-back, replacing Hassan, who we've just signed? Oh dear, and it looks like we lost a goalkeeper. Maynard Brewer in goal. Not even Manon, who's higher rated, and we can swap in. I don't know where Kaminsky has gone. We've got Hassan to a 75, Reyes I thought would be higher than an 81. Carey's been replaced by Connor Coventry, Awonyi and Charlie Kelman up front, almost another 80 in Rankin Costello. Decent bench down here as well, with Adai, with Campbell, Carey, Olaof, Miles Leyburn just not far behind. After I struggled to loan some players out, and let's go and find the man we want to. Paul Akololu, he changes to a 75 CB and almost a 76. As you can see, Charlie Kelman was the highest scorer, joined by Alof and Nibs. Iribo, 31, he's done alright, and I think contracts have been signed up rather successfully. We went for a lot of 3-year ones, with Fuller, Asimwe up to a 71, and Bick to a 66, and then Anderson to a 72. I didn't stop loaning all them youngsters. As Kaminsky, is he actually still playing? Yes, he is, over at Crystal Palace. Guessing there was a release clause involved for the 35-year-old, which I wish I wouldn't have got rid of, but I don't mind that he's actually gone. If you get me, we'll try and replace him. And I knew Wolves will be a struggle this season. Southampton the same. Nathan Jones' ex-club, as we finish 16 draws deep with 88 points. Very unlucky, as in the FA Cup. We reached a semi-final. Man City, 5 goals to 2. Desperately unlucky with Leeds United, 3 goals to 2. And the playoffs, first round, Coventry City, who we know can be beaten IRL, as they were beaten by Ipswich Town. And Ipswich Town we go and beat ourselves 2-1 in our 3rd season playoff finale. Charlton Athletic will be in the Premier League, but we now know at the start of next season we'll need a keeper. We get a lot of decent players back from loan. Ramsey is now our captain, and I know I should go straight into next season, but I am gonna dance around with these tactics a little bit more. Making Awonyi, before I forget, a poacher in this team, because I don't think he scored as many, and Kelman took all the plaudits. We know in goal, for starters, as this division, is there teams we can try and survive above? There's Brentford, maybe a little bit of trouble for them. Fulham, Southampton, Sunderland, and Wolves. This is a very difficult Premier League. I doubt we'll survive, unless we make some big signings as 46 plus the coaches we got. We really need a decent keeper, and of course we can still get a regen into our club, which we'll have to try and find in day one. But goalkeepers, is there any old ones that are really good? I'm going to go above the age of 29. See, Kaminsky I'm in 2 minds of. I knew he'd go lower rated, but I didn't want to lose him in our team. And at least there's this guy, Georgi Bushkan. I think he's good, but he's also not the only goalkeeper I want at the club. I want someone better. Is there anybody better in this old player mark? Or market? Not really. There's Gautier Lassonia, who's 31. I'd rather not. I thought there might have been a Ter Stegen or someone on that level, but I am going to take him in, because I know we've got to be good for this first season. Good as in surviving, of course, I mean. And we've got 2 quality keepers for the Premier League, but not good ones. And you might think, why didn't I get a regen for one of the 2 keepers? But I want to really go and find the best one on the market, even if we're not looking at position. If there's the next Messi, next Ronaldo, I don't care who it is. As long as they're high rated as a youngster, I don't mind. We get 1 a season. And I think if we're lucky, we could find someone 80 rated or above. There's a lot of 60s. I haven't seen a 70 rated yet, but I'm sure one will come up. Felipe Aurelio, he looks the best one we've found so far. He goes onto the watch list or short list, same as Melvin Bosch. Great players, and I forgot Bosch, but I did find Lionel Gilbert, making us force a choice between these 2 players here. Which one is needed more so in our team? One being a DM, and Olaof is 28. Ranking Costello also 28, as I did think position changing to something where we get a DM involved. Olaof goes down here, but I don't think we need to do that. I think we just sign up potentially the right back. Welcoming in Aurelio Felipe. I said it the wrong way round, but the Spaniard is a right back, only 18 years of age, or 17, and it might look like I'm actually getting weaker with the squad right here. But when we do change it to this new shape of 4-1-4-1, I think we get better, ranking Costello into that DM position just fine. A lot of regens under the defense, apart from in goal, which I think we do go for next year. And the bench looks looks very comfy. Now, we could still do with another defender because we've got 2 left wingers down here and 2 strikers. A bit imbalanced. And if we do want to survive in the Prem, we've got to balance this squad up. So the player I'm going to get in is now an 80-year-old, but has played for BVB. It is Rami Bensabiani, the Algerian old man. A player that now sits at a 76, a -4, which is not good. But as his role as a backup, he's done pretty well, as we do have a lot above him. Genuinely improving. We've got a +7 in Nadir Hassan. We've got Kelman going up, ranking Costello and Aurelio. The joint highest with our other fullback, Evaristo Reyes, or not joint highest, they're both the highest in first and second, and our top scorer was Campbell. A +6 with Nibs a +4, Kelman 15 goals, Aribo 14 and 10. Now, he's a signing I didn't really like making. Thinking he'd be an old one, and ranking Costello must have definitely played at DM. He goes up to an 85 as an OG player, as Aurelio is in this lineup as the right back, of course. And this team, it should not just be surviving in the Premier League this season. It should be doing better, as 14 defeats, 3 draws, 21 wins, and them games must have been absolutely epic to be in. As we finished 6th in the Conference League, we scored 76 goals, conceded 72, which is a lot, and we're actually not far off UCL. A point off Newcastle, which I didn't think we deserved, and I don't believe it. We're not going to be in the Conference League. We're going to be in the FA Cup, which we were getting closer to. After a semi-final last year, I think it was a quarter-final the year above, we actually go ahead and win our first major honour. After literally just getting promoted from the Championship, the Carabao not as good. We can live with that. We can live with that. Getting beat by Chelsea. At least we do have the FA Cup trophy. And a gateway into Europe, where Nottingham Forest, the team we finished above, got to the final. And Newcastle and Spurs, 2 other teams we did pretty well against. Did well in, and of course we've got our regen pick to go for next season. I do want to get some more real-life players in still. Got a really good right-hand side and left with Nibs and Reyes. That's the side I was actually going and looking at. Coventry could be improved, and definitely the keeper Lassoneur. As first things first, Bensabiani, I am going to keep him around as a left-back. He's very experienced in Europe, which again, we are going into in Season 4. Or straight from Season 4, as I want to check our budget, 48 million, but that doesn't really matter. It is our objectives. Europa League. Reach the final is a bit of a steep one. Reach the round of 16 of the FA Cup and finish in a mid-table place in the Premier League. Okay to me. We've already named the positions we have to strengthen, and I think I just saw the goalkeeper has hit an 80 rating and has just signed a new contract here with Charlton. I do like Gauthier Lassoneur, just what he's done for the club, and I do think we just look for where the best regen player is. The midfield could be strengthened. As Sonny Carey, a player I spoke big about, and that's Campbell. That's Sonny Carey. I would have hoped for a lot better from him, and also the same from Miles Laban, who I know I've definitely got to sign in another save. As I said, I wanted to venture around the world, trying to find regen players from different nationalities, as I'm just focused on midfield in general. Is anyone actually better as a veteran before we do look at the younger guns themselves? Well, there's one I think we all know, Jack Grealish as a left mid, and with the passing and dribbling stats he has, I know he could potentially be a cam, but the playstyles also tell me maybe a centre mid if we could get Grealish at Charlton Athletic. I think this is super business. Yes, he's not going to do anything potentially in some future seasons, but for now, Jack Grealish is here. He travels over from Manchester City. How does he change in this team, however? Or not straight from Man City, but from over Manchester direction. We didn't pay money for him. And 2 weeks until a centre mid actually does sit just fine with me. We've got so many players at the club. That's my second protocol to take, as there he goes. Him and Aribo are quite ancient, however. Need to look at that in the future, but I am going to look at the older players like Matt Godden, really good player. Oh no, Ronel Hernandez the same, and Luke Berry. We can't use them anymore. We're gonna have to splash some cash because we don't do it usually on getting rid of these lads here and youthening up our squad for the Champions League push through the Europa League, because I do want to push on 2 accounts with these youngsters like Felipe Aurelio, Reyes, who needs to train more because he's not been on a decent training drill in a while, and Hassan the same. I think we can push high up here in the Premier League and in the Europa League, but now we get to go and get another youth player because we haven't had our one for this season, and I am going to focus on GK with someone surely above 70 here. Please be someone good. Marinus Dahl looks like he could potentially be the regen of Kasper Schmeichel, or the regen of it's got to be Thibaut Courtois. The Belgian better than Kaminski in season 1 to 3. This is Pierre Michelels. And are you noticing what I am? With the man we've just signed. Yes, Reyes is up to a 91 plus 5, which is amazing on its own. But Pierre Michelels, he's plus 7 to an 89, only 19 years of age. This man is better than Thibaut Courtois. Helped by the scouts we've got in. We've got Auriello, we've also got Harvey Nibbs, we've got Hassan, Rankin Costello, Kamsi, or Ramsey, I'm putting the names together. Charlton's built a solid squad, with Campbell scoring 25 and 15 assists. Charlie Kellman, 24. However, he's still kind of low rated, not the lowest. Now it's the midfield, which definitely needs signing next year. The defense is some of the best we've ever had, defensive-wise. So Nathan Jones should be buzzing as a slightly defensive manager, but obviously he got sacked as Bentabiani, can't change position yet, all the way to Jack Grealish, and he won't change to a centre mid. What a shame. I really wanted it to work out for him, as where's the team of the season? Here it is, and only one player in it, and that is the left back Reyes, meaning we must have done pretty well in the league, and this year it is the Champions League. Probably helped out by our defense, but clean sheet wise, not many. 51 goals conceded, and I do want to keep the clean sheets from the new goalkeeper we actually got in. Well, he's not on the first list, actually. Lemons is above him. Where is the goalkeeper? Only 4 clean sheets in a Charlton shirt. Still more than Donnarumma, and we lost the Community Shield before winning the Emirates FA Cup. Is that 2 in a row for Charlton Athletic? Hopefully it is. This is the trophy they like, and please don't knock us out the Champions League because of it. The game sometimes loves to do that, and the Carabao Cup goes to Liverpool over Brentford. Fair enough, fair enough. And Chelsea do finish above us in the Champions League phase or the Europa League phase. We're not in the Champions League just yet. With Shakhtar beaten 4 goals to 2, Athletic Club 3 goals to 1, moving us into a semi-final, 3 goals to 2 over Sporting Lisbon, meaning after Chelsea 1-0 in the FA Cup to us in the Europa League, the scoreline is the same, and we beat Chelsea to get a European trophy. As you know what? 2 midfielders into this club, we could be competing for more than just a double, because that's what we won last season with international duty. Being on high alert, we've got this defence which is untouchable, including an OG in Ramsey, still under 30, 92 pace. So glad we moved him inside. We've got 127 million, and these are the objectives for the MWS Charlton Athletic free agent build. That is a mouthful. We've got to finish in a Champions League place, win the FA Cup for the 3rd time on the trot, and win a double back-to-back European trophy by reaching the Champions League finale, because let's be honest, they don't want us to reach it to actually not go and win it, as a striker is the first option. And I'm going to check if the big man is still going. I want to find his regen, and he's not, is Cristiano Ronaldo, so maybe we do focus on Portuguese in order to locate him, but then there's Norwegian. If we can find another Haaland, I'd love it, as I'm just going to search. I'm going to wait until I see the green rating right next to the name of a player, but I don't see any. Vinicius Javier's the last name coming up, meaning we pump it up. We've got to go again. We have got to find the hidden wonder kids. They are out there if we keep searching. As can we find someone? There's a real-life player on this list. Not what we needed at all, but I've just found this man here. Jerome Palmer. Now, I don't know why he can play right back and right midfield. From Grenada, he's worth £132 million, 89 dribbling and shooting. His pace and passing lacking significantly. But step aside, Kelman. I know he's done a really good job for us, and we do need to get midfielders in as well. But this man from Grenada with the big mullet, he is in. He is so in. He's left-footed and his dribbling has now gone up to a 90. He does have the power shot, which I use a lot in games because now our midfield, we've got 279 rated, one original, one ex-Nathan Jones player that needs replacing now with real-life players, and I have found one on the shortlist. Anton Stach from Leeds United in real life, but he's over the age of 30. I only need him for a few more seasons, if that. So he is 82 rated. Coming in to train as a DM because I honestly think it will take his rating up. And you might be asking who plays in that cam position, because we've obviously just got a midfielder. Jack Grealish is going down. I'm going to show you that in a hot second after we do check this Premier League, where Charlton are at the top of it, 97 points. We breeze through the English domestic division. Very well done so as well with the FA Cup. Not unfortunately back-to-back on the treble bounce. A quarter-final, however, still. Manchester United. Huge understory right there. And they're in the final of the Carabao against Newcastle. Losing, as this is where I wanted the bread and butter to be right here. 0 goals conceded. 8 goals scored. 8 wins. Every single game must have been 1-0 to us, which is instantly broken with 2 2-1s in a row against Frankfurt. A 6-2 hammering of Atalanta, who were actually in front of us. And a 3-1 win over Barcelona. First season in the Champions League, like usual. We're ready for it. The Veltins Arena, the rivals of BVB, who we are going to face in that one-off game to get us this title. 90 rated all around. This defense has carried us through. Yes, it is actually regens mostly. I can't believe we've actually found it, and Connor Coventry wasn't our cam. It's going to be Campbell as firstly, Anton Stach to an 84. In that CDM position as Tyrese to an 87. For this huge game, as look at the team of the season, our defense is strong and should be able to keep out Pierre Garassi and Carney Chukwuemeka. Old Trafford is where this game is at, as Felix Nemecha ball falls nicely for him into Fiedler, chasing them around. Got to try and get a tackle in. Don't get a tackle in, so he's allowed to just run through us. Anton Stach. I don't like this. I don't like their formation being the Ruben Amorim one. Maybe he's the manager back at Old Trafford. And he's had a word with the corrupt FA as Apter needs to get the cross in. There's a man free at the back post. It's Harvey Nibbs. The Charlton link-up. It had to work right there, and they're on the counter from our corner. It's Maximilian Bier and Reyes, our highest rated player, and our first regen into the squad with a fantastic tackle. I don't think we'll ever have a better defense than we do right now, so that is the aim I'm going to set. Yes, we're against the front three, but I want a clean sheet desperately in this game. As Felder with a run on, Carney Chukwuemeka again into Biereth. They're getting the better of us so far, leaving us needing to counter. And look at that ball through right there. It's Palmer. It's gone a little bit too far out wide, but he does have the driven shot. Not entirely working, but Anton Stach winning it into Rob Apter. Rob Apter to go across the field. That's a brilliant ball into Harvey Nibbs just wide. So close to the first goal. And Auriello, I am playing false back, so he's coming in from right back, the Spaniard. And that's the first big shot on target from us in this game. There's a corner coming in from BVB. Failed to clear. And I don't believe it. That's where the goal comes from. That. Absolutely stunned to silence. No idea how it's gone in. An easy pass. And with the best defence we'll ever have in the Champions League finale. We come out and we embarrass ourselves, as now we need to get going once more. Ranking Costello into Harvey Nibbs. Nibbs needs to get a run on. We need to try and get a goal quickly again with Palmer. Not again for a goal in this game, as we need the first one. That should have been it. Really easy goal to score. The drag back, as now Bellingham onto the field as well. Apter with a run on there. Very lucky with the nutmeg. We have not been good. But Campbell, Anton with the tackle. The old defender. And Ramsey. Really don't like the way we are playing. We changed our style, and it should have worked, as Nibs has had 3 thrances in this game. Odd chances as he thrashes it into the back of the net and pulls off the Jude Bellingham. As soon as Job's on the field, cheeky little bit of work from me and Harvey Nibs. That is a hat-trick of chances finally taken. And I'm surprised how many OGs are here. Rankin Costello, Harvey Nibs, Ramsey. So we've got the ball. Nibs quickly into Campbell. Another one back out to the left. Nibs should pick up on that, or Reyes, because he's the false back getting forward. Bit disappointed in Palmer so far. We knew we lacked pace before we actually got started, as Bier into Nemecha going for the return. Good tackle. And Reyes to run out with the ball right here into Campbell again. Now it's a free pass into Nibs, who could get 2 in the game for himself, but if he tries to pull it across the box into Palmer, that is him finally arriving with his 8th Champions League goal. Puts his thumbs to the back of the kit. The Grenada international scores a big goal that needed to go in, and Nibs, after missing a lot of chances, not missing that assist, and him not missing the ball. Mullet Man arrives and makes a big impact in this finale as Anton Stach. I thought he'd be better from headers from corners as Apter. One more on. It could be another goal like this. Nibs is just allowed to run, and Palmer's in the box again. It's deja vu. It is easy as that. Playing 3 at the back, it's going to cause them issues where you can't go out wide. Jerome Palmer with 2. Could he be on for a hat-trick here? If the move's on, it is on. It's the first time in the second half I've actually seen a tactic work so well every single time in the game. The dangers of 3 at the back exposed, and it might not be Nibs getting the assist this time, but it's over the top into Apter, into the box. Good save, Coble, to stop the hat-trick, but Harvey Nibs with the ball into the box towards, I think that was Harsan. Need to get this ball down. Don't do into Schlotterbeck, but keep the pressure on right here, as the timer should be out right now. And it is. Charlton Athletic go ahead and win the Champions League this time. Using free agents only, and I had to have an OG as the captain. I never took that armband off him. It is going to be Kane Ramsey, who I believe started at Liverpool, lifting the trophy. Brilliant form by him in this game, and brilliant form by Charlton. And free agents, we had to find good ones, and we did. Just let me know in the comments below. I am thinking of a team I do want to do free agents on, but let me know your suggestions in the comments, and leave a like if you want this series to continue.